Hello students, in the previous lecture we have discussed about the qualitative meaning of the error. As we know that whatever be the accuracy and precision in the process of measuring, whatever be the precision of the measuring instrument, always there will be some error. Every measured value is only approximated value. So, how will you measure this amount of error? Today we will discuss the quantitative nature of the error. Means how will you calculate the quantitative nature of the error? So, see here there are certain quantities which are calculated, which are found in order to find the error. One is the absolute error. Absolute error in a measurement. Then we find the mean absolute error. This absolute error is also known as the limiting error. Then there is a relative error or fractional error. And then there is the percentage error. In order to find the amount of error quantitatively, we describe in these things: absolute error, mean absolute error, relative error or fractional error, and percentage error. Suppose, what is absolute error in a measurement? So absolute error in a measurement means it is the difference of the true value and the measured value. It is equal to the true value minus measured value. That will be absolute error. Now see here, sometimes a single measured value is given. Instead of number of observations, instead of number of measurements of the same thing, there is only one single measured value is given. Then how will you find the true absolute error? So here this is the rule: if only one measured value is given, then what will be the absolute error? Then absolute error will be equal to equals to least count of measuring device. That is instrument, anything you can say. For example, I have measured some length with the help of the vernier calipers. As we know that the vernier calipers which you use in the laboratory, it has the least count. Least count of that vernier calipers is how much? 0.01 centimeter. And here it has been found that the length of this cylinder, length of this pen, it is equal to 7.68 centimeter. The length is this. So what will be the absolute error in its measurement? So absolute error, because here only one single measured value is given. If only one single measured value is given, then what will be the absolute error? Absolute error will be equal to the least count of that measuring device. So absolute error in the measurement of this length, that we will write by this. This means absolute error in measurement of L. Here L means length of this pen. It is equals to 0.01 centimeter. It's clear? This will be 0.01 centimeter. So if only one measured value is given, then absolute error will be equal to the least count of that measuring device. But suppose the number of measured values are given. If number of measured values are given, then we find the true value. And true value we take as the arithmetic mean of all those observations. Arithmetic mean of all those measurements. That will be the true value. For example, here you can say that there are n observations, A1, A2 and so on, An. We have measured some quantity whose n times and its observations comes out, readings comes out, measured values comes out, A1, A2, A3 and so on, An. So what will be the true value here? So here true value will be equal to, here second case, when number of measured values are given, number of measured values are given. When number of measured values are given, then true value will be equal to the arithmetic mean of all these observations. Arithmetic means it will be A1 plus A2 plus and so on plus An divided by n. It's clear? And this we denote by this symbol A bar. There is one line above the A. It is the true value. So what will be the absolute error in the measurement of A1? Absolute error in the measurement of A1 will be equal to A bar, as we know that what is absolute error? Absolute error equals to true value minus measured value. So if there are n observations, then true value will be taken their arithmetic mean. Arithmetic means sum of all the observations divided by number of observations. So what is the absolute error in the measurement of A1? A bar minus A1. Delta A2, absolute error in the measurement of A2, A bar minus A2. Delta A3, that will be equals to A bar minus A3 and so on. What is delta An? It will be equal to A bar minus An. These are the absolute errors. Now see here, it is possible that the A bar is greater than A1 or it is less than A1 or it may be equal to A1. It's clear? Everything is possible. It may be greater than A1, it may be less than A1, it may be equal to A1. So when it will be greater than, this true value will be greater than the measured value. Absolute error will be positive. Absolute error will be positive. But when the true value is smaller than true value is this, measured value is this is smaller and this is bigger, then the absolute error will come out negative. So absolute error may have the sign positive or negative. It may be positive value or it may be a negative value. It's clear? How will you find the mean absolute error? So mean absolute error can be found by determining the arithmetic mean of the absolute errors without considering their sign. Without considering their sign means we will take their modulus value. We will take their modulus value. Modulus means here modulus of x means it is the only x. There will be no sign. It's clear? What is the modulus of 3? Minus 3. It will be equal to 3. Modulus of 3. It will be equal to 3. Sign will be ignored. If there is minus sign, then when you determine the modulus, sign will be left. So see here, in order to determine the mean absolute error, we don't consider their sign. We will ignore their minus sign. Add all the absolute errors divided by, there will be how many absolute errors? Since there are n observations, so n absolute errors, so you divide by n. What will be the unit of absolute error? Absolute error will have the same unit as the measured value. So how will you find the mean absolute error? So you can see here, in order to determine the mean absolute error, this is mean absolute error. Here this we will write by delta A bar. It's clear? Delta A bar, it will be equals to modulus of delta A1 means their positive value, modulus of delta A2 plus and so on, modulus of delta An divided by n. It means if the true value is a bar, then the value of that measured value may be from where to where. There may be the swing of this much error. There may be the swing of this much error around this. Means it will be measured value from where to where? Minus a bar minus delta a bar to a bar plus delta a bar. It is clear? This measured value will lie in between these. This is clear. So how will you find? So first point is the absolute error. Absolute error means the true value minus the measured value. If there is only one single measured value, then what will be the absolute error? It will be equal to the least count of that measuring device. Then second point, if there are number of observations, suppose there are n readings, there are n values of the measured quantity. So how will you find the true value? True value will be the arithmetic mean of these measured values. That will be considered as the true value. Then how will you find the absolute error in each observation? True value, that is a bar minus a1, a bar minus a2, a bar minus a3. It will be the absolute errors in this. Now absolute errors may be positive or negative. So in order to determine the mean absolute error, we will take only their average positive values and then determine the average. Now if it comes out this, it means there may be the swing of this much in the true value. It's clear? Means the measured value will lie in between this to this. Now there is one term, relative error or fractional error in the measurement. Relative error or fractional error. So see here, relative error means this is the ratio of mean absolute error to the true value. Ratio of mean absolute error to the true value. That is known as the relative error or fractional error. And what will be the percentage error? Percentage error, how will you calculate? It will be equal to delta a bar upon a bar into 100. This will be the percentage error. It's clear? Now we will do one question based on this. So you can see here one question. I am reading here one question, then you see how will you determine these errors. I am reading the question. It is from NCERT book. So you can see here, I will not write the question here, only just read. So if you want to write it, then you can write. We measure the period of oscillation. Period of oscillation means time taken to complete one oscillation. We measure the period of oscillation of simple pendulum in successive measurements. The readings turns out to be 2.63 second, 2.56 second, then 2.42 second, 2.71 second and 2.80 second. Calculate the absolute errors, relative error and percentage error. These things you have to calculate. So see here, what will be the absolute error? So first you find the true value. So what will be the true value? True value of period of oscillation. As we know that period of oscillation is denoted by the symbol T. So we will determine T bar. These are T1, T2, T3, T4 and T5. So when you will calculate it, 2.63 plus 2.56 plus 2.42, 2.71 plus 2.80. There are how many observations? 5 divided by 5. We will not do the calculation. Answer I am saying from here. It is 2.62. It comes out 2.62. here 2.62 second. It's clear. Now we will find out the absolute errors. So what will be delta T1? So it is equal to the true value minus measured value. So it will be 2.62 minus 2.63, that is minus 0.01 second. Then delta T2 will be equal to 2.62, this is the true value, minus 2.56, so it is 0.06 second. Then after this I am writing directly delta T3, 2.62 minus that much, so it is equals to 0.20 second. Delta T4, so it will be 2.62 minus 2.71, that is equals to minus 0.09 second. And then delta T5, so it will be 2.62 minus 2.80, that is equals to minus 0.18 second. This way you can calculate the absolute error in each observation. Now you have to find the mean absolute error. So what will be the mean absolute error? Because you have to calculate the relative error also. So mean absolute error will be equal to absolute error. So as already I have told, it is the average of all absolute error ignoring their sign. We will not take their sign. We will not consider their sign. It's clear. So it will be equal to 0.01 plus 0.06 plus 0.20 plus 0.09 plus 0.18 divided by 5. When you calculate it, calculation part I am not doing. Here it is 0.54 upon 5. 0.54 upon 5. When you will calculate it, it comes out 0.11 this. It has no unit. Relative error has no unit. It is clear? No, here it is mean absolute error. It is 0.11 second. It is mean absolute error. Now after this we will calculate the relative error. So relative error equals to, it is mean absolute error divided by the true value. What is mean absolute error? 0.11. True value 2.62. So 0.11 upon 2.62. When we simplify it, it comes out equals to here 0.11 upon 2.62. I don't have calculator, so you can do. Then what will be the percentage error? Percentage error will be 0.11 upon 2.62 into 100%. It is clear? This way you can do. Perhaps here I don't have calculator, so you can do this way. So in this way you can calculate the errors. Now this is the quantitative meaning of the error, means how will you calculate the error. Now one more thing, as I have told, every physical quantity cannot be measured directly. Suppose you have to measure its volume. What will you do? You will measure its diameter as well as its length. Suppose diameter has been measured by the screw gauge and the length has been measured by the vernier calipers. Both are having the different level of resolution. The limit of resolution of the screw gauge is more because its least count is smaller. It's clear? So they have been measured up to the different level of accuracy. So what will be the error in the measured value, which is the volume? How will you find the error in the volume? So see here, when there is when any physical quantity depends upon some measured values. suppose there is any physical quantity z which depends upon some measured values. Here it is a calculated value. This physical quantity is obtained by measuring some other physical quantities. So what will be the error in this? So error in the final result, error in the end result will depend upon the errors which are produced in the measured values. Errors in the measured values, as well as it will also depend upon the factor, it will also depend upon the manner in which these measured values have been combined to obtain z. Means first point is this, second is manner in which measured values have been combined. Measured values been combined to obtain final result. Now see here there is a physical quantity which is calculated by measuring some other physical quantities. So what will be the error produced in the final result? Error produced in this calculated quantity, it will depend upon two things. Number one, it will depend upon error which are produced in the measured values. Number two, it will also depend upon the manner in which they have been combined to obtain this quantity. For example, here we have to determine the perimeter of this. Once we have to determine the perimeter of this rectangular garden, and then we have to determine its area. Suppose length we have measured by a scale whose least count is 1 mm, that is equals to 0.1 centimeter, and breadth we have measured by a scale whose least count is 0.5 mm, that is 0.05 centimeter. It's clear? Here its limit of resolution is this. Limit of resolution of the scale which has been used in measuring breadth is this, and here it is this. Least count are given here. Now once you are determining the perimeter, perimeter will be the L plus B. It's clear? Then you are determining the area L into B. Same physical quantities has been used here. Same physical quantities has been used in order to determine perimeter as well as in area. But here amount of error in both will be different because they have been combined in a different way. Here both are added and here both are multiplied. It's clear? So how will you calculate this? So we will calculate, there are some rules, by using those rules we will calculate this. This is called the propagation of error. Means error, measured value की error calculated quantity में कैसे propagate कर रही है, it depends upon the manner in which they have been combined, whether they have been added or subtracted or multiplied or divided, in what way they have been combined in order to obtain the calculated value, in order to obtain the end result. It depends upon that thing. That's clear? Besides the error which are produced in each measurement. So see here, now we will see, here we have assumed let there is a physical quantity z which depends upon two measured values x and y. We have assumed that there is a physical quantity z depends on two measured values x and y. Let the absolute error in the measurement of x is delta x and absolute error in the measurement of y is delta y. absolute error in the measurement of del x is plus minus delta x, and in y it is plus minus delta y. It's clear? Means what will be the possible values of x? It can be anywhere from x minus delta x to x plus delta x. Similarly, what will be the possible value of y? It may be y minus delta y to y plus delta y. It's clear? Here we have assumed that there is a physical quantity z which depends upon the two measured values x and y. Let the absolute error in the measurement of x is delta x and in the measurement of y it is delta y. It means the value of x lies in this range and value of y lies in this range. Let the absolute error in z is plus minus delta z, or simply you can write delta z. So let here it is z is obtained by using this relation, z equals to x plus y. Here z has been obtained by using this relation. So with considering error, with due consideration of error, what will you write this relation? Z plus minus delta z equals to x plus minus delta x plus y plus minus delta y. So z plus minus delta z can be written as x and y you write together, x plus y plus minus delta x plus minus delta y. You can see here z equals to x plus y. With due consideration of error, this relation will become this. It's clear? Now here you rearrange the term x plus y is written here, then plus minus delta x plus minus delta y. Now as you know that z equals to what? X plus y. It means this will be cancelled here. These two will be cancelled. So what will be the absolute error in the z? Absolute error in the z is plus minus delta z equals to plus minus delta x plus minus delta y. What will be the maximum permissible absolute error? Maximum permissible absolute error. It's clear? Here amount of error may be delta x plus delta y, or it may be delta x minus delta y, or it may be minus delta x plus delta y, or it may be minus delta x minus delta y. Means what may be the absolute error? It may be delta x plus delta y. It may be delta x minus delta y, or minus delta x plus delta y, minus delta x minus delta y. It's clear? But we will try to find, we are interested in finding the maximum permissible absolute error. What will be the maximum permissible absolute error? So maximum permissible absolute error in amount, it will be this. It's clear? It will be the maximum permissible absolute error. It's clear? So maximum permissible, हमको फाइंड करना है कि कितनी मैक्सिमम एरर हो सकती है. इट्स क्लियर? सो मैक्सिमम परमिसिबल एब्सोल्यूट एरर विल बी इक्वल टू डेल्टा एक्स प्लस डेल्टा वाई. इट्स क्लियर? So it is the case when the final result has been obtained by adding the measured values. Final result has been obtained by adding the measured values. Suppose in place of addition there is the subtraction. Final result is obtained by subtracting one measured value from the other measured value. So when you will write it here with due consideration of error, these things will remain same. absolute error in the measurement of x is delta x, in the y it is delta y, and here in absolute error in the z is delta z. So when you will write with due consideration of the error here, so what will happen? Here there will be minus sign. When you will open this, what will happen? On opening you will get x plus minus delta x minus y minus, it will become minus into plus, minus, minus into minus, plus delta y. When you will rearrange the term, it will become x minus y. It is clear? And here plus minus delta x, this will become minus plus delta y. You see once again. Here I am writing it once again here, from here. When you will open the bracket, on opening the bracket it will become what? X plus minus delta x. This is minus y minus plus delta y. So on simplifying x minus y, it is plus minus delta x minus plus delta y. So here what will happen? Once again these two things will be cancelled. This z and this x minus y will be cancelled. It is clear from here. So what will be the possible values of absolute error? Plus delta x minus delta y, this. Then minus delta x minus delta y means this. Then plus delta x plus delta y, this. And then plus delta x minus delta y. So it is this. So in this way you will get these errors. But we are interested in calculating maximum permissible absolute error. So that will be delta x plus delta y. It is clear? So see here, it means if there is any physical quantity P, it depends upon some measured values. It depends upon some measured values A, B and C, and P is equal to A plus B plus C, or P is equal to A plus B minus C, P equals to A plus B plus C, or P equals to A minus B plus C. Means the final result has been either obtained by adding these or by subtraction. Then what will be the absolute error in the final result? It will be equal to the sum of the absolute errors in individual observation. Sum of the absolute errors in the individual observation. It is clear? So this way we can calculate the absolute error in a calculated value, which depends upon the measured values, and measured values either added or subtracted in order to get the final result. Final result फाइंड करने के लिए मेजर्ड वैल्यू को या तो ऐड किया गया है या सब्ट्रैक्ट किया गया है, या कुछ को ऐड और कुछ को सब्ट्रैक्ट किया गया है. सो व्हाट विल बी द एब्सोल्यूट एरर इन द फाइनल रिजल्ट? It will be equal to the sum of the absolute errors in the measured values. It is clear? चाहे उन measured values को ऐड किया गया हो या सब्ट्रैक्ट किया गया हो, फाइनल रिजल्ट में मैक्सिमम परमिसिबल एब्सोल्यूट एरर फाइंड आउट करने के लिए सभी measured values की एब्सोल्यूट एरर्स को क्या किया जाएगा? ऐड किया जाएगा. So now we will do the remaining part of this in a next lecture. It's clear? So thank you.